spinal compression, or belly to spine, however you want to write it. The muscles that do the opposite of the diaphragm, the exhalation muscles, or expiration, that's the rectus abdominis that does that. When you breathe out, your abdominals are actually the most. There's other little ones too, but the rectus abdominis, that's where you can feel it contract when you hit a punching bag. Let's see. I just put other pictures there so you can see different versions, some of them have different words. If you look at the one in the middle there, middle of the page, it looks like it's breaking them off in sections. It's showing how deep the transverse abdominis is. That first one, the arrow pointing at it, it's behind it. You can't actually see it. So when you're doing planks, yeah, you're working your abs. They definitely show they're activating the obliques. The deep ones are firing too, right? But if you're doing bridges and just pressing the floor, you're not going to get ripped abs from that, but that's working those deep ones. And then we have the erector spinae on the right side of it, the last picture. So the erector spinae is made up of a bunch of different muscles. The spinalis thoracis, you don't need to know that long distance. That's what those words are. But we just call them the erector spinae. That does extension. So you can write spinal extension on the muscles in the back there. You'll see that word in chapter 6, remember? When it says your erector spinae is overactive, it means your back's arching like this. Right? So if your back is arching, your erector spinae is overactive. You're right. See, Jacob, it was you. It's supposed to be in your bag, right? What was the last thing I just said?
Erector spinus.
You know what I say about it?
I don't know.
See? What? That was the first day, right?
Spinal extension.
What else did I say, guys?
You have overactive muscles in the back.
Could be overactive. Yep. You'll see in chapter 6 when the back is arching, right? And then we have the gluteus medius. You see that there? So it does abduction, but I want you to write something else. Write this. When walking, this muscle stabilizes the pelvis from tilting to the unsupported side. Okay. So you guys said, you tell people go like this, like it'll push out this way. So what's happening is synergistic dominance when it's weak. It's going to the TFL, right? So in your chapter 6, it says when your knees go in, it's possible that the gluteus medius is weak and the TFL is taking over. If you think about it, if you sit on one leg and it goes like this, it's going to abduction. TFL does abduction too. But then that means this side is tilting like that because this isn't working. So it's trying to do like abduction this way instead. That's what's happening. But it's just that you're on 2 feet instead of 1. So it just goes, you're not going to tilt so much as the knees going instead. That's why you got to do some isolation without using the TFL. Okay. The rest of it is just tables from your book. Same thing I showed on the slide. But I don't know, I didn't print out very well today. Sometimes it prints better than that. But if you would start memorizing it from the book and then this is a cheat sheet, you would probably can read it. Because I can read it because I know the words. Right, transverse abdominis, interoblique, lumbar multifidus, pelvic floor muscles, diaphragm. If you go in the middle, quadratus lumborum, psoas major, external obliques, portions of the internal oblique, rectus abdominis, gluteus medius, and then the adductor complex. Those are the movement systems, the lats, hip flexors, hamstrings, and quads. So then let's go to the bottom. Now, what do we do with all this? How do we train it in a program? Well, the first phase, I got some videos for you today too. The first phase, core stabilization. 1 to 4 exercises, whatever. That stuff is just like, you have to follow those rules that much. 1 to 4 sets, just say don't overload the person, you make those decisions. The reps are supposed to be high, or you're not moving at all. Maybe it's just a plank and you're timing it. But if it's a bridge, you're not doing like 5 reps of a hip thruster in the beginning. Just like a huge kettlebell, right? Like you're doing the body weight, then you elevate their feet, and then you make it unstable, then you do single leg, like just use those same rules. 4, 2, 1, up to you. Don't just do it because Nathan said it to. Maybe it's just control, right? It's a small movement. Can't do 4, 2, 1 on a plank. 4, 2, 1 of marching, maybe. Right? If you go to strength, it's 2, 3, 4. 0 to 4 exercises. I don't know why there's 0 in there, but so do nothing. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it, I guess. But maybe in that phase they're saying like if you're doing lots of like heavy stuff, maybe you don't need to. Maybe you're getting so much strength because you're doing so many squats, and maybe it's because you're doing rotating lunges and stuff like that. So you're maybe getting your core already, and you don't need to. And that's kind of true. Do you ever do like such hard workouts at the end? You're like, I don't think I need to do any abs at all. I just used the crap out of everything I did. And then I'll sometimes just treat it, I'll just do a little bit more at the end, add it in there. 8 to 12 reps. You know, when I was younger, I always thought if I had to do like 20, 25 reps or I didn't feel it, I just don't think I was going hard enough to really focus on the movement. So I would do like 25 crunches and I'd feel it. I had a lot of endurance too from the army, but I've been changing over the years, and I have been going heavier on everything and doing 8 to 12, and I really feel the difference.